Peppa's and her golden boots. It was the day of the big puddle-jumping competition. Peppa and her friends were practicing jumping up and down in muddy puddles. "My daddy always wins," boasted Peppa. "He says the first rule of puddle jumping is to wear your boots, and mine are very special because they are made of gold." "They are not gold," replied Susie Sheep. "They are yellow." "They are not yellow. They are real plastic gold," protested Peppa. "Would anyone like some orange juice?" called Mommy Pig from the house. "Yes, please," replied everyone. They ran inside, leaving their boots outside the front door. When Peppa and her friends had finished their juice, they headed outside to put on their boots. "Oh no, my boots have gone," sobbed Peppa. Mr. Zebra arrived with the post. "I have just seen a duck with boots on," he said. Peppa sniffed. "Were they gold?" "No, yellow," he replied. Mrs. Duck came running down the hill, wearing Peppa's golden boots. "Quack, quack!" Peppa ran after her. "Mrs. Duck, can I have my boots back, please?" But Mrs. Duck did not want to give Peppa's boot back. She did not stop running until she reached Captain Dog's boat. No one could stop Mrs. Duck. She leaped into the water and swam away. Captain Dog started his engine. "I think my boat can go faster than that duck," he exclaimed. But Captain Dog's boat could not keep up with Mrs. Duck. That is a fast duck," he said. Mrs. Duck finally stopped at a little island where Grampy Rabbit had been shipwrecked when his boat capsized. "Mrs. Duck has my boots, and she won't give them back," Peppa called. "Don't worry, Peppa," replied Grampy Rabbit. "Mrs. Duck has nowhere to go." But then Mrs. Duck started flying, and she was still wearing the boots. "Oh no," cried Peppa. "Mrs. Duck is flying to the moon with my boots." "Don't worry, Peppa," said Grampy Rabbit, pointing to the neighboring island. "We will take my rocket." "I really don't think Peppa's boot will be on the moon," said Mommy Pig. "Nonsense," insisted Grampy Rabbit, helping everyone into the rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! On the moon, Peppa and her friends searched everywhere for Mrs. Duck and the golden boots. "Let's ask at the shop," suggested Susie Sheep. "You don't get shops on moon," explained Daddy Pig. "Postcards," called Miss Rabbit from inside her gift shop. "Ice cream, buckets and spades." Meanwhile, Grandpa Pig had spotted Mrs. Duck in his garden. "Those are not your boots, are they?" he asked. He quickly dialed Daddy Pig's number. "Hello, Grandpa Pig," said Daddy Pig. "Yes, Peppa has lost some boots. We will be right there." "Next stop, Grandpa Pig's garden," announced Grumpy Rabbit. Peppa bounced excitedly out of the rocket. "My boots, my golden boots!" she exclaimed. "Thank you, Grandpa." Grandpa Pig helped Peppa put them on. "Now we can go to the puddle-jumping competition," said Mommy Pig. "Oh yes," agreed Daddy Pig. "We'd better hurry." The big puddle-jumping competition was about to begin. "First up, Daddy Pig," cried Mr. Potato. Daddy Pig took a giant leap and made a very big splash. Then it was Mr. Elephant's turn, and Mr. Elephant made an even bigger splash. Mr. Elephant is the winner, announced Mr. Potato. Peppa cleared her throat. Please, can I have to go too? She asked. Oh, of course, replied Mr. Potato. And can all my friends help? Peppa asked. Mr. Elephant was not pleased. Hang on, I don't think that's really. It sounds perfectly fair to me, interrupted Daddy Pig. Sploosh! Peppa and her friends made the biggest splash ever. Peppa and her friends are the winners, declared Mr. Potato. I still think, began Mr. Elephant. Hooray! Cheered everyone loudly. Peppa loved her golden boots. Everyone loved their boots. And everyone loved the big, muddy, puddle-jumping competition. Quack, quack!